Новая, кстати, новая почему-то. А похоже на старую. Так. Hello everyone. Very informal today. Apologies for starting half an hour later, but since today is a new moon coming day, everything is refreshed, renewed. We are pretty tired, everyone is tired, but relaxed. But we are going to master the art of relaxation through communication. So, my name is Natalia. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher and a healer and something else, depends on the circumstances. And I'm happy to share in the framework of this educational project of expansion wellness, which we're turning into education. So if you have any questions or suggestions or would like to speak in this educational project, you're very welcome to join us every Saturday at 4 p.m. Submit your topics, talk to me, and we'll definitely make it happen if it's interesting. The idea is to combine science and spirituality and sometimes explore different avenues of those too. So we're continuing our communication topic that we started a few times ago. And as to communication, today we will focus on the energy of communication. So we covered medical part, connection of the body, the brain. We covered it last time with Cami as our guest, Dr. Cami Owen. The previous times we were doing it with psychology, and today we're gonna do it with energy work. So, in order to do that, we probably have to master some vocabulary, right? So we have an honored guest here today, and we would like to discuss what communication actually means. So, Sita, what do you think it means? Communication. Let's do this. Where am I speaking from when I'm talking to you now?
From your heart.
Make a guess.
From your heart.
Oh, it's always a good answer. Okay.
So communication is when you let people know what you think.
Mm-hmm. So in communication, you want to let people know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's their part in this process when you let them know what you think?
To listen and respond.
Appropriately. As requested.
And let know what they think.
Aha, so they do have some part to play.
It's two-way.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So communication, say there's two people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So communication can happen on this level, right? On this level, on this, and this, and no one knows where it goes, right? Basically, in a nutshell. Why does it happen like that?
Because people have different styles of communication.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Different personalities.
Right.
Different goals.
Yes, exactly. Like at the beginning of all the classes, we usually, what do? We set an intention, right? Why do we set an intention? Because when there is an intention, then the energy and the force in the universe starts getting the task. Basically, it starts focusing and directing what you want to do, if it resonates with that force, right? For instance, if you're on a frequency of the lower center of your communication, lower vibration, right? If you, at any time you're confused, just send us a comment if you're there. I cannot say anything anyway, so just talking to the universe. So when there is a match, then it aligns and it helps and it directs your communication. And when you have an intention, then everything supports your intention. Whether it's dark forces or light forces, they support your communication. So, for instance, like Yogi Bhajan, founder of Kundalini Yoga, he says if you want to mess someone up, you speak from your second chakra. If you want to uplift someone, you speak from your heart. You speak from your. If you want to be blunt and direct, you speak from your throat. If you want to command and get things done, you speak from your sixth sense and your willpower. And if you want to lose a person, you speak from your crown chakra. Because it's very etheric. So basically, it's like artists talking to each other, right? Like when artists talk, usually nothing gets done. We all know that, right? They're very hypothetical, very creative, and creative not in a way of creation, but creative in a way of seeing different things. So that doesn't necessarily come to a certain point of realization. Sometimes it does. So it really depends on how we communicate. But the main goal, what we want to do, is to understand what we're communicating. If we are not clear in what we're communicating, how can we communicate with someone else? Right?
Ineffectually.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm messed up and I'm full of fears and doubts and everything, I'll be like a deer in the headlights, like rabbit in the bush, and they will be like, what am I going to communicate? Save me or something, maybe. But what is the idea that I want to convey? There's no idea, basically, because it's clouded, right? So first and foremost, we want to crystallize ourselves and then have the intention of what we want to say. And like we covered last time, the verbal communication is only 10% of the whole communication. We communicate with our energy centers, with our aura, and our aura, the magnetic field, it contains all our energy centers. So basically we want to bring all that into balance. And that's why it's important sometimes to be stressed, like positively stressed. That's why we take cold showers in the morning, because we want to be positively stressed and prepare our nervous system, because then we can accumulate ourselves and really direct communication. And when you direct your communication, you don't want to just give the information, the numbers or the words, because you can give all the words you want, but the person might not understand it. And you might speak different languages and the person will still get what you're saying. Right? Why do you think it happens?
Because of 90% of
all that 90%. So how do we get that 90%? We want to first be aligned, like I said, and then second, we want to know which energy center we're speaking from. So in conventional yoga tradition, there are 7 chakras in the body. First is at the area of the root, and it has a color of red, and it's a chakra of security and connection with the ground, basically, connection with the earth. Second is in the area of pelvis, it's orange, and it's senses, sensuality, sexuality, creativity. It's also connected to the 6th center, so they both communicate very well. And when they both communicate, this is when the most amazing things happen. In fact, the tip of advice, when you are having an intercourse or making love, let's put it this way, whatever you're making, the key is to use your 6th sense, because when you use your 6th sense in connection with other senses, then it changes the whole energy exchange, because during that process you make the energy exchange and you create something. And when the 6th senses connect, then it's a connection and becoming one on a different level. So that was a free advice. Let me know how it goes. So the 3rd center is our energy fireplace. It's our energy center. It's a 3rd chakra. It's color of yellow. It's a color of willpower. It's a color of a lot of fears on the other side, because every energy has different sides, right? Like love and anger, they basically It's still the same energy. And what is it, like fear and courage, that will be the same energy, you just have to flip it. So this could be whatever it is, if it's balanced or if it's not, depending on that, if it's positive or negative. So the center, the heart center, of course, it's compassion, love. We all have to communicate with the heart center, including some other chakra that we want to do. So if we are in a business environment, we want to include the third, maybe, and the sixth. If we are in a friendly, emotional environment, we can just do heart and maybe third chakra, so the other person can hear you. And seventh chakra, we just meditate. So it's a crown chakra. 6 is our intuition. Dark blue, this is violet, this is blue, and this is green. So, in a nutshell. And when we communicate, let's say we figured ourselves out, but we also have an antenna of the recipient, right? So the recipient can be, and most of the times when the person doesn't hear us, it's because they are so caught up in their own things. Especially now with the technology, with the internet, with text messages. It's like, even without that, your mind is busy, right? But if you have a device constantly buzzing and something's going on and different apps and, and everything, then it's like, how are you going to pinpoint on the person you're talking to? You have to really have interest, right, in that. So we want to exercise a little bit of control over the other person. That's why we're using our sixth sense, because we want to connect with the area of the energy center of another person. We want to communicate with another energy field, right? Otherwise, to get attention. We don't want to manipulate, we don't want to do any harm, but we want to be connected in order to convey the message. Or like, for instance, what I especially love, like in Kundalini yoga gatherings, like at summer solstice, in the service exchange groups, before they begin any task, they tune in together. Like they chant the mantra and then tune in together into one frequency. And at first I was, observing this, but it surprisingly works so well when people are in the same field. It creates a whole, like they just in tune, and everything flows in tune. That's why it's important to meditate every morning. Just whatever you call meditation, just connect with the environment, connect with the universe, so that you are in the flow, right? We want to ride the wave. We don't want to be against the wave. We don't want to fight against the wave. If we can ride it and use it to our direction, advantage. So the other person has to be clarified, has to be a little bit controlled through the aura, just to get attention, and create a communication with the intention.
This all makes sense.
Makes it? Okay. Now, let's practice. But before that, tell me, what is the biggest problem for communication to be effective? We want to be effective, right? We want to have 100% effective communication. What is the biggest problem of that?
People don't know what they want to communicate.
1. Why do they not know?
Because they're not balanced.
2. Why are they not balanced?
Because they don't do meditation.
Oh, yeah, that's the easy way out. Yes, that's the easy escape.
Because people get overwhelmed with life.
Right? Because they are everywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? If we think...
There's no focus.
Exactly. They are not... it sounds very basic. We all hear that all the time, especially if we go to yoga. But it's because they are not present in the present moment. That's all. There is a simple exercise. When you are somewhere, just find a very small point and become that point, connect with that point. So you start communication with everything. Like, I look at my pinky, and there is nothing more important in life than this pinky right now. And that's it, right? Because I become very present and then focused. And then I start working with that. That's why so many questions and issues are much better resolved in a personal way rather than a formal way or through the email or text messages, right? We all heard it. Rather talk to a person than text or email or whatever, or don't talk. Why? Because we become more present with each other, and it's difficult to get attention these days. So before we start practicing, let's do a little meditation. It's called surprisingly meditation for effective communication. Let's first tune in gently, straightening the spine, letting the energy flow through the spine, through the channels, tucking the chin in, focusing just a little bit about the eyebrows, inhaling slowly and deeply, conveying the breath all the way up, and exhaling slowly. Maybe making a mental note how we're feeling when we're slowing down the breath. And maybe we can make a mental reminder to slow down the breath every day. Just starting with that, once a day, every day, at the same time. And please inhale deep and set your intention for the meditation. And exhale. So we want to keep sitting straight, and we will connect the pinky fingers, which are our Mercury fingers and communication, and our thumbs, which are our positive ego, and the rest of the fingers will be very straight. Shoulders down and back, tuck the chin in, eyes are closed, and relax your breath. Focus at the brow point, just above the eyebrows, looking inwards. There is nothing more important right now than the focus and the breath. Feel connection between your fingertips and your thumbs. And mentally start singing or listening to the most beautiful song you've ever heard. Or even if you haven't heard it, imagine the most beautiful song in your head, in the space. Go deeper into the brow point, deeper into your music. Let the mudra, the hand combination, become more energized. See if you can straighten the fingers more. Really stretching them to direct the energy flow. Very good. Now inhale deep. Hold the breath in. Squeeze your fingers against each other. Squeeze your thumbs. Squeeze your belly. Squeeze your pelvis. Squeeze your sex organs and your rectum. Focus at the brow point. Stay there. Cannon breath. Exhale. Inhale again. And stretch up. Stretch your fingers. Stretch your arms. Stretch your armpits all the way. Hold. Focus. Now we're energizing our aura here. Stay there. Cannon breath. One more. Inhale. Hold it. Squeeze it and shake. Shake, 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 shake. Spread the energy and share with the whole world, because we can't excel by ourselves without everyone else. And exhale, and just because we might want to. Thank you. All right. So let's communicate. So first of all, I'll start if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Just close your eyes without looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Really listen to what I'm going to say. And notice in which part of the body and what reaction this causes. Sveta, you are so beautiful today. Now the next one. Sveta, you love your life. And the last one. Sveta, everything is going to be great. And now open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to share? You guys can practice with someone.
Huh?
I'm talking to them that they can practice too.
So on the first phrase was a feeling in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a smile.
Mm-hmm.
So probably heart and mind as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Second one.
And the energy get very, very soft as well, very, very buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And the second.
Second one was doubt.
Where did you feel it?
I felt it in my face for some
On your
reason.
face? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Somewhere here.
Huh. Good.
So,
I was speaking. Okay, can you guess where I was speaking from?
this chakra.
No, I was speaking from the second chakra, but I was directing it up at your head. So
So it wasn't bad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And the third?
The third one. Probably somewhere the same place.
The face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What feeling did it cause?
I doubt as well. So but that's my
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay, because I was trying to communicate with the aura and like with the general field. So okay. I guess it didn't work too well. Let's.
Maybe I wasn't attuned.
Well,
enough.
you know, it's never one way. So.
Maybe I wasn't ready to hear that.
Okay. Let's try the same. No, it will be not interesting. But we'll try another one with the open eyes because there will be more attunement. But now you do your part. I'll be receiving. Just focus on what you want to convey, from where you want to speak.
It's not easy.
Can you imagine talking like this all the time?
Nata, you're so spiritual. Nata, you're very smart.
I can tell exactly.
Nata, you're very attractive.
Was the last one from the throat?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Mm-hmm.
First one? Do you know
From the
it?
heart and the
Yes.
third. Yeah. Thank
And
you.
Second?
Second was irony. I could hear that.
No, not very. Actually, it was from head.
Okay, from the head. Okay. Hmm.
It wasn't irony.
It was a little bit like a little bit something was the back thought or something.
No,
No?
it wasn't my
So it was like from
intention.
the sixth center.
Mhm.
I see. Interesting. So when were you saying that? I'm thinking because when I was talking to you and I was saying the last piece, I was doubting it a little bit, and then you got doubts.
Yeah.
Where you were doubting it when you were saying it to me, the last one?
The last one?
No, not the last one.
The
The
second
second one.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, interesting.
Was given a compliment.
Ah, okay. Okay, I need to work on the self.
I was like showing respect.
Thank you. I need to work on acceptance. See, now we've both found what we need to work on.
See, it's interesting why you saw it as irony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I thought in your voice it was like it sounded like I was focusing on your voice more
But
than
there's probably some reason why you read it
exactly.
this way.
Yeah, because self-acceptance. That's what I need to work on my self-acceptance,
Yes.
and you need to work on the trust, the
Yes.
self-trust. See, we got that homework.
That efficient communication. communication.
Yes, just 3 phrases, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it with open eyes.
Mhm.
Okay, let me think. Let's connect first. Sveta, have you been home today?
Have you been what?
At home today?
Yes.
You didn't have to answer. Let's do it again. It's a funny one. Sveta, where did you spend this night?
So I don't have to.
No. We'll keep a secret. Okay. Sveta, you're gonna do great. And the third one? Okay, let's try this. What? What was the third one? What do you think?
Maybe you caught my doubts about that. I'm gonna do great. And you were like, what?
But which center do you think I was speaking from? And you received it from which center? What do you think? First of all, was it easier with open eyes or harder?
Probably easier.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes were connected.
Mm-hmm.
This was more non-verbal
Right.
communication going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of forgot which chakra is responsible.
No, but
I
you
just know
can
something.
just imagine the height. You don't have to.
Maybe some lower.
The last one?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Lower than height.
Mm-hmm. And the second?
Second, mind.
Mm-hmm. And the throat. Those two. And the first?
What was the first one?
Where did you spend the night?
Lower than height.
Right, from the third chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, right? So which one made you feel better and which one made you feel worse?
Probably you're gonna do great.
Worse or better?
Better.
Okay.
The third one probably a bit worse.
Interesting. See, because I was trying to do the third one from the crown
Mm.
and send it to the crown.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it's when you
When you lose the person.
away.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. That's a very interesting response. Okay. So can you imagine when we communicate with centers?
Mm-hmm.
And these are just like few phrases. What would happen if we communicate like that with people when we really connect?
We need to be very attuned to do that. Because
Yeah.
there's so much communication.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully communication will improve. If people are actually attuned.
Yes.
And
Well, the first
perceive each other.
exactly. The first step is to actually connect with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get a connection, then the rest is just coming together somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then what happens next is all different issues start popping up, might be, you know, and you're like, interesting. So was it interesting?
Yes, it was.
Exercise. Okay. So that was a piece of conscious communication, and we can also communicate like that not only with people, but we communicate like that with the idea, with the object, any object basically, with an organ, with event, with another person. Long distance, you just have to connect differently, and you can communicate with everything like that. So that's the beauty of that. You just, you know, it's, you just practice and that's it. And you communicate and you keep communicating.
Yes, practice is everything.
Yeah, and also feeling good, basically. Well-being, it's a key of how you communicate. Because if you are not feeling solid inside of you, whatever you're trying to communicate, good luck. That's the thing. So first and foremost, we need to, not we need to, but if we want to achieve it, we clarify ourselves every day, like taking a shower. If you have very little time, just do a little bit. Breathing, something that makes you feel in your body, connecting with every part of your body, with your surroundings, loving your space where you are, loving that time where you are, loving your life. And maybe just like having this three, like I love myself, I love my life, I love my space, you know, and that's it. And mean it and see how everything changes. Because the higher the frequency is, the more noble our thoughts are, basically, the more differently everything happens with us. And if we want a miracle, the miracle will only happen when we are expecting the miracle and we are ready to receive it.
Yeah, when we set an intention.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Informative.
I'm glad. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. If you want to go to Costa Rica in April, it's a feminine, divine feminine retreat. It's a very boutique. The space is limited, and you can contact me and we can talk about it. But other than that, be well, have a wonderful week, and love your life.